Hi everybody, and welcome to VCA number 22 close. So if you're with me on the open yesterday, it was an eventful day. It sounds like the audio is going well. So yeah, if you're with me yesterday, you would have saw that we didn't have any ETH in the first hour. It's actually been some time since we have got ETH in. We got some ETH in 4 hours ago, and we just got a Dolphin that came in 2 hours ago, so we're going to check that out. So welcome aboard everybody to the hourly close live stream of VCA number 22. Obviously after this we've got auction day 179, 11th of May. That will be a regular auction day, 200 million Axion up for grabs. You get a 10% bonus using a referral link. You use the one in the video description if you want a 10% bonus in Axion for that one. But at the moment we've got the VCA number 22 on. If you enter this one, you get 10% wrap Bitcoin back. Very cool indeed. Obviously we've had super high gas fees. Has been a real problem for all Ethereum projects, particularly staking and auction projects with the cost of gas fees. So that has certainly been a big hindrance in the last day or two. We're going to check that out as well. So we've got a couple of topics to talk about. We've got obviously VCA 22 close. We're going to watch the Ethereum come in. We're currently at we've got a good number there, and we're going to look at also the high gas prices. We're also going to look at Axion version 3, which is coming as a major solution to solve that issue, at least dramatically reduce it down to a very tiny issue. And obviously we've got Pulsechain. I've done a bit of research on that. We're going to have another update talk about Pulsechain as well, and where I think that heads for ERC20s and Axion in particular. So we're going to check that out. So feel free to comment in the chat, say hello. Always appreciate that. It's great to get your comments, and like to see who's out and about at the moment. So very exciting times. Obviously we've got, let's have a look at the results at the moment of VCA. We're in the last hour, the sniping hour we like to call it. 57 minutes left. We've got 10.69 ETH in there. 40.39 is the target amount. So just under 42,000 versus 157. And this is VCA number 22. We've got a Uniswap price of 11.1 million, and we've got a auction price of almost 12.2 million, which the records keep going up, folks. We can see that our previous record had been 10.2 million. That was on the 7th of May. Then we had that was in a mega VCA. Then we have 11 million, which was the following VCA, which was awesome one on the 8th. So we had a tremendous last 10 days. And then we had the regular auction with 9.5 million. Today we have a whopping 12.2 million. Surely this has got to be the record high. Never say never in crypto, but wow, this is an incredible result if this closes in this direction. Still got 56 minutes to go, see who snipes in, and let's have a quick look at who has actually entered the auction. You can see here on the Axion Today dashboard, our first bid was about 4 hours ago, 0.69 ETH. And that was a little fishy, so good on them. 2.7, they really showed up. Actually, that was on the Axion Today show, I believe, that they came in not 4 hours ago on the Axion Today show. That's when I saw it, and yeah, that was a really good show that covered version 3. Had T-Dally on there. It was a really great episode on Axion Today, so if you've missed that, go check that out. T-Dally gave a lot of, he's the head developer in Axion, and gave a lot of insights into what's coming up, and so that we're going to talk about that as well. So very cool. And then we had 2 hours ago, we had a Dolphin come in with 10 ETH, so that's 39,000 US dollars. They got 3,800 back as 10% wrap Bitcoin. That's what you get instantly. You put your 10 ETH, instantly you're going to get back 10% back as wrap Bitcoin. Very cool for them. And then 85% of that goes to all the stakers. That's you and me, of course, and 32,500. If you haven't staked Axion, get some Axion either on Uniswap or on and through the auctions. A tremendous result, record level amount at the moment. Very cool. And then you can stake it, and the longer you stake it, the more shares you get, the more rewards. That's simple, folks. Very cool. And of course we're getting lots more airdrops coming up, IEOs coming up, all that sort of stuff coming up for max share stakers. Those people were staked for 15.2 years. Very cool. Are getting even more rewards and more rewards and more rewards. So very bright future. And of course we've got Axion version 3 coming up. It's going to be a game changer for Axion, and it's probably apart from setting up your own fork of Ethereum, it's going to be probably the best response of an ERC20 project on Ethereum to the high gas fees. Very cool indeed. Coming up in Q2. So we're going to dive into a bit more on that later. And so I hope you enjoyed that one. Let's go down and drop down to the discount at the moment. So discount definitely still around that 10% mark to Uniswap. 9.38 it says on here. and there we are. So we're trying to target 40. Still got a long way to go, 54 minutes. This is the sniping hour. We'll see who comes in here. Gas has come back a little bit. We're going to check that out as well. So let's go through that. And before we do that though, just check the chat, see if anyone's jumped in here, and say hello. But we're going to check out the gas there as well. And check that. So Alex K's in the house. He's a moderator. Hey. Good to see you. And Prana's in the house. One of our good old favorites in the chat there. Hey, Prana. Hey. And beautiful fee still. Yeah, beautiful. It's brutal, I should say. Yeah, stop me from doing a few transactions at the moment. And Prana, thank you, Dolphin. Yeah, we'd like to thank the Dolphins. They're always out there saving other sea creatures. So very cool on the Dolphin one. Prana, I wonder if liquidity migrating from Uniswap version 2 to 3 are causing these higher gas prices again. That's a good point, Prana. A nice observation. Alex might have a comment to say about that. He's certainly good at the technical side, but that could be a play in there. Very interesting perspective. So let's have a quick check here. So we've got 10.69. I think that's pretty good. What was I going to say? We're going to have a quick look at the gas fees at the moment. You can see here we've got Rapid 38. This is actually on the lower side lately. We've had some tremendously high gas prices, $2.35 at the moment. So just for a transfer, it's $20 for a fast transfer. So you can see the other ones there. If we look on the actual transfers, yeah, $20 at the moment. It's just ridiculous to transfer money. So Axion version 3 is going to be a game changer for Axion in terms of dramatically reducing the fees. We're going to check that out again in the full announcements, just so that people can grasp the magnitude of that innovation by Axion Foundation team. So we're going to check that out. Now that's coming in Q2, so theoretically that's in the next 6 to 7 weeks. So that's a very timely solution. I think we can put up with a bit of volatility for a period of time, but obviously that's a good short-term solution. Obviously it's not here today, but it's a fact that it's in play. It's been in development for 5 weeks. We found out today from T-Daily, so very cool. So it's well advanced and yeah, looking good. So we're going to check, let's go down a bit further here. We can see that we've got, if you want to do a Uniswap version 3, that's $140 to do a rapid, or $132 to do a fast. At the moment, that is ridiculous, just to do a swap of token. And version 2 is at $108 on fast. That is really bad. Fees are coming down a little bit, $261. Let's go check out. Obviously, if you're doing advanced, look at Tornado Cash deposits, $1,000 at the moment for that, just hideous. And I do know that I heard on doing Hex, unstaking Hex ones, because of the I think the load function that goes up every day, because it's got to loop through all the days. Every day you do another day that you've had a stake, it has to go through another day, loop through, and that all costs more money. Yeah, so that's just increasing the cost, especially at Gwei when it's up here. We want to get back to that 30-40 Gwei mark to get things far more reasonable in the short term. So let's watch that. Obviously, after the ETH pumped, so did all the transactions, and the network congestion seems to have just put the price way up. We can see, look at this, it's a bit of like if you've heard of the phrase Bloody Monday, it's a bit like that here. Look at that, it's orange, very orange day. Look at all the green that we had in the previous weeks. Oh, we missed those days. Oh, we do. So we missed those days, and now we've got this big red orange day today on Tuesday, Monday. So hopefully we'll get back to some reasonable prices. Many people wanting to do transactions at a reasonable rate, and if we can get back down, even if we get down to 50 Gwei, that some people will be happy. I'm hoping we get back to this 30-40 Gwei mark at least. That'd be a nice reprieve. We did enjoy that for, what was it, 2 weeks? Can't remember now, but we hope to get back to that on there. So yeah, this is the gasnow.org site, so you can check that out if you need it. I'll put it in the description, so you can check that out. Gas Now, if you can want to check out the gas fees. Boom, there we are. All right, let's go back up here. Alex K, yeah, it must be related to version 3. That's a good insight from Alex. Yeah, X unstaking, especially early stakes, is horrendous, and it would only get worse as time goes by, right? For all staking tokens, including Axion, if you're using loop throughs, because every day you got to add another day of the stake. So if you've got a long-term stake, you can imagine by the time, depending on what the gas fees are, then that's just going to accumulate a massive fee for unstaking. It really is a stake problem. But Axion has got a solution for that with version 3. Very cool indeed, and that we're going to check that in full detail again. So very nice there. FBAM's in the house. Hey FBAM, hey everybody, super excited to be here with Superman. Hey FBAM, always a pleasure. Bam bam, as we always say. Good to have you in the house. And Pranasims, yeah, we had gas prices around 30 Gwei for about 2 weeks. Yeah, it was a nice reprieve, especially previously we'd had very high gas prices. So very cool to get that. Alright, so that's where we're at the moment. Let's quickly check the price. Now, obviously, ETH had a small pullback. I call it small these days, but it fell from 4,150 or something like that down to 3,900. That has put a bit of dampening on the market. Axion got sold off by some of our wallets that, you know, a lot of wallets had like 100 mil, 150 mil. We did have one whale also participate in the sell-off. They ended up going on and buying a meme coin and then selling that back. I just went through the accounts, just thought it was interesting. I always like to see what the whales are doing, and then selling that in the same day and then coming back to Axion, buying back. What wasn't beneficial for them, unfortunately, and they paid the price for that one. But it's good to see them back in the fold anyway. Hopefully they're going to be a bit more, stay with Axion. Be a good idea. So that's what happened. Let's have a look at some of those. So we had quite a few doing that. If we go to the amount on here, we can see that we had a lot of these big amounts, 150 millions, 120, 120s, lots of these 100 millions back earlier in the day. So some interesting stuff there on the trading. Let me get back to the current one, 6:20. What time is it now? 6:13. Just gonna make sure I get back to the 8:08. Yeah, so we have had quite a lot of light training actually. You can see the volumes are not too high. We've at 11 million liquidity, 8,000 in daily volume. That's still on the soft side, so we've still got relatively low daily volume in the last couple of days. 1,400 ETH in the pool versus 15.7 billion Axion. So that's where it's at, folks. And let's have a quick look at the chart. So here's the hourly chart. You can see that we've just been going along this Bollinger Band. We had that sell-off only not too long ago, actually. It was only a couple of hours after I actually got up. And it had been sitting around at that 0004 mark. There was a comment in Discord about, hey, it's the last time we'll ever see below 0004. As soon as they write that, everyone's like, oh no, you just basically shot us in the foot. And so it was. The market decided, after ETH decided to pull back the market, some of our accounts, we only need a few accounts that are over 100 million to sell off, and we can get a trigger like this, and that's what happened. So we're back down to 00035, but pretty big movement for Axion at these levels. So there we are, we're back down about 12% off that 0004 mark. We were hoping last night, if you remember, to consolidate at the 0004 and to slowly move up. That would have been a nice thing to see, but we did end up pulling back. So anyway, it's a good buying opportunity. If you want to pick up large amounts of Axion, good time to do that is now. Pretty good price there. Obviously not investment advice, you've got to do your own due diligence, but definitely a nice price entry there, 00035. This is long-term support. You can see that on the dashed yellow line. That's our long-term support line. So that's where it's at. So let's go down to the daily chart and just check that out quickly. We're going to go quick. This is the daily chart now. You can see that we broke down, even though we broke up over the descending triangle. We actually got sold off with the ETH slight pullback. Very sensitive to that now. And then we hit back to 00035, the long-term support line. You can see that it goes all the way back. And that's where we're at. We're below the 100-day rolling average back there. Our CCI has obviously gone below zero, negative 37, but our MACD average is still slightly just on the par pretty much, or just slightly above the signal line there, which is positive still. So we'll see whether we can get a nice little recovery in the next 24 hours on that one. We do have a regular auction coming up, so all the 80% of the Ethereum on there is used to buy back Axion on the markets. So that's typically been sold out like hotcakes. So that should help give us a little bounce back there. Hopefully people don't sell into it too much, but we'll see what happens. This is the market for you, isn't it? But what we hope for sometimes happens, sometimes it doesn't. So there we are. We'll just see what happens. That's a bit of a wrap up of the market at the moment. So we're just looking for a bit of a bounce there, and maybe Ethereum will pop back over 4,000 will also be helpful. And I think that's probably a good wrap up there. All right, let's go back to the market. Let's check out some of the comments in the chat there. Pranam says, yeah, we had gas prices around 30. Uniswap version 3, version 2. Alex says using 25 to 30% of all ETH transactions, Tether 10%, and UNI3 67. That's really interesting. okay, that's cool to know. And that's close to half the ETH network traffic, says Prana. Yeah, Uni is killing ETH, unfortunately. Yeah. All right, so that looks like it's having a big impact. Now, let's quickly go to what was the topics we're going to talk about. Yeah, we've talked about high gas prices, and we've talked about Axion Vision, or we're going to talk about Axion Vision 3 now. So let's go quickly check that while we're waiting for more ETH to come in. So ETH at the moment is 10.69, 42,000 US dollars, so not too bad. Obviously, 85% of that is used to buy Bitcoin. It actually has bought 0.74 Bitcoin, and 85% of it's gone to stakers, which is 0.63, which is just under 35,000 US dollars. So that's not too bad. So that you'd have got a bit more wrapped Bitcoin on your staking page. Cool stuff there. So make sure you get some Axion, get staked. These are going to be record high amounts. We just don't know when the top is, it seems. But these are tremendous results. Getting 12.2 million per ETH is just astounding. So we'll watch out for the future for that. Because at some stage someone's going to say, man, I was back then, I picked that up then and I did really good. So we'll watch out for that. All right, I'm going to pull up Discord here. Just not sure where I put that. Let me show Discord. See, Discord's been updated, so it's a bit more flashy. It's got some different UI features, so it's kind of cool. We'll see how that comes up. We're going to go on here and let's go to the announcements. Now check this out. Now, Axion Today's show was on. They did go through Version 3 in depth, quite in depth with T-Deli. It was a very cool show actually, so check that out. You can see some of the new icons. They actually look a lot better in some ways. Some people might not like the blue edges, but I kind of like it. I think it looks quite good. Sleepy Sloth obviously doing well, so check that out as well. That's not the main reason why I'm coming here. We're going to have a look at version 3, which is coming up. We're going to click on here and pull up the information that's there on that. And let's close down the Discord again. So Axion Version 3 is coming up, and these are the highlights really. That the new optimizations will bring an incredible 87.3% reduction in costs compared to version 2, so that's really huge. So obviously with the GUI, that will dramatically lower the costs by that amount, no matter what the GUI is. Obviously the GUI is 3040, that's going to be tremendous savings. Imagine 85%, 87% savings on that. That's really huge. So the original AxionV3 staking contract struck up 8 words, so it's pretty much talking about the amount of words that it had to use, and so they're getting it down to 1 word pretty much for the stake. Very efficient use of the code with the new code. So our new Axion Version 3 staking contracts have been optimized down to a single word, creating amazing savings and costs associated with creating new stakes and withdrawing completed stakes. This is really huge news. Obviously we've still got to wait probably 6 or 7 weeks for that. That's the probably but you never know with this team. This depends when they get it all finished and audited, but that's pretty much the case. Obviously sometimes these do get delayed. Our Axion Foundation has often delivered early, but just remember that it is software, so sometimes things can get delayed slightly. So we'll just have that in the back of our minds as we are optimistic about a really good delivery of version 3, and these dramatic reductions in staking costs will really be a game changer for sure. And obviously with the they'll also be able to update layer 1 stakes also. Will only be slightly more expensive than brand new 3 stakes, so that's a huge breakthrough, because obviously those costs are super huge, especially if at GUI at 280 you wouldn't be able to do it. They're just so high. Even at 3040 GUI, still quite high. Like I think the last time I checked, about $80, $120, maybe somewhere in that mark at 3040 GUI. So you can imagine at 280 GUI just not possible. You're probably looking at $500 or $1,000 or something like that. So pretty crazy stuff. Now this is going to be dramatic reduction in layer 1. So really, if you've got layer 1s, you'll be able to get those things out at dramatically lower cost. So very cool indeed. And obviously entering the auction is also, so obviously we have staking. That's our first major product at the top there. So if we go back to the Axion dashboard, we've got stakes at the top. This is the first major product. So this is going to have dramatic reductions, 87.5%, and also V1s. If you've got stakes down the bottom, you'll have V1s potentially if you've been around for a while. They will be V2 stakes. We had version 1, now we've got version 2 stakes at the moment. This is what this platform is, but we're moving to version 3. And then our second product obviously is auctions, and in here you can go in and get great benefits. On a VCA you get 10% wrapped Bitcoin. On a regular auction you get 10% Axion bonus. and on both of those auctions you get potentially up to 10% discount to market. So that's really the product offering. And so if we look at the improvements that are going to happen there, we're going to have entering the auction will be dramatically reduced. So when you go into an auction, you pretty much have to connect your MetaMask wallet up, put some Ethereum in it, then you have to click send max here, and then you can actually put the amount of Ethereum that you want to bid in. So if you wanted to bid in a small whatever amount, so let's say you did 1 Ethereum, you click send, that goes into the auction, you get a new line item, it says your bets in there, and that stays in there. And depending on the auction is depending on what bonus you'll get. And then so you enter the auction, it costs you an Ethereum fee, and then to withdraw the auction at the end of the day, you have to do that too, and then stake it. And that, so those, you got an entry fee and an exit fee. So both of those cost you Ethereum. That's going to be dramatically reduced for that. So entering the auction will also be dramatically reduced. In the version 2 implementation, investors had to spend gas on 2 transactions, entering the auction and then withdrawing their earnings. So that's their entering and then withdrawing, so 2 fees. Resulting in a 2 times 16-word transaction cost. Now entering and withdrawing from the auction will be a 2 times 1-word transaction, resulting in massive savings. So auctions are going to be transformed. So with the high gas fees limiting transactions on staking and auctions, they're going to be dramatically reduced in version 3. So that's a real positive thing, and that's only coming up probably 6 to 7 weeks time. Could be slightly earlier, could be a week later, somewhere in that time frame. But this solution is well advanced 5 weeks or so into the programming. So looking good there. Very excited about this. This is a game changer for Axion, and it keeps our ecosystem really nice and fluid and cost efficient. And if you have cost efficient and fluid ecosystem, you unleash that economic energy in all the investors in Axion, both existing and new. So I think it's really heads up to T-Daly and the team for having the insight into that. So very cool. Now T-Daly did say no, it was someone else on the team that had the idea of doing version 3, and man, what great insight that was. And so congrats to them. Just can't remember the name of the developer, but if anyone knows, leave it in the chat. We would like to give the heads up to them. Right, so that's what we got there, and obviously it's got a brand new algorithm, optimized the whole process of code. That's pretty awesome stuff there. Let's have a look. So they're getting rid of loops as well. Every other popular staking token uses loop functionality, but Axion is the first to create a new and a unique approach, something we're proud of. So a real game changer. Loops are expensive with the S-load functions and other stuff like that on ETH now, especially when they raised the price by 2.7x. And then you've got a loop down every day, so a real game changer. And then obviously the other big thing is NFT functionality. You'll be able to have stakes as NFTs. Now they're going to hold back doing the trading of NFTs until Axion's ecosystem is right for that, but they will have NFT staking. It's going to be pretty epic stuff, but the tradability is going to probably be deferred until a bit later in the day. So as according to Punky's sort of deflation economics, that's coming a bit later in the Goldilocks zone, so we'll look for that later. And then obviously they've done some new modularized code there to do new and additional features, so we've got lots of new product abilities to come up. So obviously we've got staking and auctions at the moment. We've also got liquidity mining that will all be more efficient under version 3, so we're looking really excited for that. So hopefully that's a good run over of version 3, really a solution, really powerful solution as we saw there, and it's up to 87.5% reduction in costs for staking. That's a huge win for Axion ecosystem, and it will really make it so that even when gas fees get relatively high, we'll be able to manage, they'll be far more manageable, and obviously when the gas fees are low, that will be beneficial as well. So really nice heads up to the team for that one, and that's coming in the short term, not near term but the short term, so very cool indeed. Alright, so Q2 is the timeline. We're obviously in May, what's it, May 10th now, so by the end of June is expected a date for that, so very exciting. Now it's quite a transformational version. It's going to be quite a groundbreaking version for everything, so everything's got to be, all the dots and T's got to be crossed to make that happen. So I thought that was pretty exciting. Alright, let's go back to the auction here. Let's check the chat first, of course. Let's have a look here. So we got here, Alex got a couple of dozen V1 stakes and a couple expiring within a month. Yeah, so they have deferred the fees, of course, on stakes until version 3 comes up, so no penalties for those. You can just leave them there for the time being. Alex had not going to touch them until fees drop significantly. Yeah, so they don't actually have to be with, there's no penalties being accrued to those. So that's a really positive thing. Patricia Steers in the house. Hi all. Great show earlier today, Patricia. Watched that. And very cool show indeed. And TW was excellent. Very nice stuff going on there. I love the meme coin. Patricia Steer says, Axion token, when do you think gas fees will decrease? Well, we have seen them. They're decreasing already. They're down from They're down from 350 down to 250. So we can actually see on the hourly chart. We were up at 60 in the green here, 170 yesterday to 267. We went as high as what we were up at. The average for the hour was I think it's the average. I'm not sure if it's the peak, but average 321, 329, 344, 321. So we've actually come down into a bit softer now into the 200s. Let's see if that's going to go back down under 200 in the next 2 hours. I need to see that the gas price is still pretty high at the moment, so we're just hoping for the best there. Obviously, Sunday was not the best. We had a high day on Sunday as well. You can see Sunday had quite a lot of orange days. That's when it sort of started happening. ETH really pumped it, and obviously we've got the Vision 2, Vision 3 stuff going on as well, as Alex and Prana have pointed out. So, yeah. Patricia says, hi, Alex and Prana, Monty MV, and Patricia says, hi, FBAM. John Atkins is in the house. Hi, everybody, says John. And hey, we've got a bit more ETH in there. Woo! We've got a bit more ETH. 11.99 ETH in there now. So $47,274. We've got 33 minutes to go, so that's another bid. Very cool indeed. And we've got our Bitcoin number will update. It's not updated yet, but that will update in a second, a minute or two, I should say. So there we are, looking good. Look at the auction price, is still 10% cheaper. Very cool. This is going to be certainly a record 12.24 million. Very cool indeed. Yeah, well done. Congratulations to them. We'll find out who that bidder was in a moment. If we go to activity, it will show up in a second. So obviously the two bids we've had, 0.69, 10 ETH from a dolphin, and we've got just another smaller bid just come in now. So we'll see who that is in a second. There. Cool. Now let's have a look at the total amount of Bitcoin. We've had 95.79 Bitcoin within 22 VCAs, and that's $5.3 million at the current Bitcoin price. And we've had 66.37 withdrawn. That's 3.7 million at the current Bitcoin price. So very exciting. Heading towards that 100 million. Sorry, heading towards that 100 wrap Bitcoin is the total 100, which is pretty outstanding. That'll be a great milestone. Our max shares is at 102.88 billion, and our stakes at 7,350. So yeah, cool. We're all looking forward to lower gas fees at the moment. Although we've got the Vision 3 solution coming in a short space of time, we certainly want these gas fees to come down. Very much so. Now Axion's not on any layer 2, so it's not on, not tradable on layer 2 ones that I'm aware of. So that's the case. So like QuickSwap or anything like that. So yeah. All right, John Atkins. Hi everyone. Great show last night, Patricia. Yeah, it was, wasn't it, John? It was really cool. And Alex K, Univision 2 was killing ETH. Then they figured out a way to optimize that with the bot transactions being batched up. Now with Vision 3, it's broken again. And they figured out a way to optimize that with the bot transactions being batched up. Now the Vision 3 is broken again. Yikes, says Prana. More donations to the miners. Yeah, miners always seem to win. Once we get rid of the miners, it would be great. Well, they use the power of a small country as well. So it'd be good to get rid of the miners. And proof of stake is obviously the future. So future stake is the way to play. Now, let's talk about our last up I had on there was Pulsechain with Pulse. So let's talk about that a bit. So Richard Hart did another live stream earlier today, had quite a few pearls in it. Now, unfortunately, wasn't as favourable. He got asked a couple of comments about which tokens would not be copied over. Now, it's not the end of the world if you think about it. Now, we'll talk about why that is, but in any case, he's talking about why which tokens wouldn't be copied over. And he basically said, off the top of his head, he went, off the top of my head, I think possibly the ones that tried to copy Hex. And so he was quite explicit about that. He said off the top of his head he could think of 2 tokens, and I'm trying to think myself what the 2 tokens would be, and I can only think of Axion and Wise. If you think that there's other tokens that he could have been thinking of, leave that in the chat. like to hear that, but all I could think of was Axion or Wise, which use share rates that were originally copied, very similar to, they had differences but similar to, but both of them are very different now, and the communities have got a lot of hex skins in both those communities anyway. So I thought it was a kind of a why would you even bother, just because they copied you. If you've got, it's really the founders that you're sort of getting annoyed with, as opposed to the investors, and the investors are really the community. So I found that kind of a bit odd. So whether it is Axion and Wise, or whether it's another token, obviously these are the most obvious ones, but if you think of any others, leave it in the chat. But so that's a reasonable chance that they will actually be excluded from the ERC20 copies. And the other thing is that obviously he's going to limit all the big whales like ETH whales and stuff like that. He's going to limit all those, so they won't be copied over to the new chain. The other thing is that they also asked, he's also going to do a lot he considers scam coins, so we're going to be on a list of scam coins that he's not going to copy over. So there's that as well. He was specifically asked another follow-up question about the tokens that they're trying to press him for the tokens, really, and he sort of just laughed and got a bit uneasy, and just basically went oh yeah, just I think what I've said is enough, kind of thing. So you can see, I think it's at I think it's at 52 minutes into the video or something like that. I did leave it on the chat on Discord and under off topics. You can check it out there. I've put all the links there. Alex K said, I made the case in Hex OG's room that blocking Axion from Pulse is short-sighted on many different levels, so let's see if this changes before the launch. Yeah, absolutely, Alex, but I certainly wasn't, after watching that live stream today, I certainly wasn't as positive as we were yesterday, Alex, about Hex being copied over. And I don't know, just like I said to you, I think it's actually not you know, I'm a Hex OG too. I don't know why you would bother, even if you disagree with the founder starting it. The fact is that there's a whole community in there, and a lot of them are Hexicans as well, because remember we originally offered a Hex free claim as well in Axion. So I don't know why you would bother, but you know, that's the way it works. So he looks like he's definitely had two off the top of his head, and secondly, it was obviously scam coins, which is, we all agree with the scam coin stuff. Disagree with the potentially two copies, particularly if it's the ones that I just mentioned. And then thirdly, he's going to obviously limit the big whales on ETH and stuff, will not be copied over. That stops a lot of the free dumpers. He wants people, the other thing is that there's going to be a freemium as well with the copy over. So if people don't use their freemium, I think it's a freemium Pulse airdrop, then they'll lose it as well. So that's the other thing, you've actually got to move it. He wants people to be active and committed, so it's going to move over. So basically the idea is that let's have a look here. So Alex K says they are really pissed at Hexologist interview with the YouTuber promoter calling Axion better. I see. That was some time ago too, right? That was some time ago, that interview. Forgot the name, the mild-mannered guy. Yeah, I've just forgotten too. I actually watched that. I can't remember that either. Yeah, don't know. I remember that, but yeah. All right, there's that bid. So it was shrimp bid in, 1.3 ETH. So awesome stuff, shrimp. We love shrimps, and it's good to see that. So let's go to the activity, check that out. We've got 26 minutes to go, folks. We'll get back to the Pulsechain, because it's very, still, I think there's a lot of value there, regardless of the fact if we get copied over or not. So 6.9 ETH from a fish, very cool. 10 ETH from a dolphin, and 1.3 from a shrimp. So very cool indeed. Now that shrimp put 1.3, that's $5,133. They got 10% back in wrapped Bitcoin. That's $508, and 85% went to stakers, $4,321. So that's really cool. So that's where we are. We've still got 26 minutes to go, so plenty of time. Gas fees are really high, so this is really great to see bids coming in with gas fees at this high. And so yeah, let's have a look at the Gwei now. We can see 285, so it really is quite high at the moment. So that's pretty neat to see that stuff coming in. Obviously, if you do go into the auction, you want it to be fairly good. Let's have a quick look here. Sheldon Evans was Jake from State Farm. It was Sheldon Evans. I had that in my head, but I just wasn't completely sure. Prana says Alex Black Sheldon, yes, thank you. It was Sheldon, was on interview. It was back in the early days, so there was a bit more relative optimism. Jake, big thumbs up there. I know he didn't mean it in a negative way, but it was not ideal to use that phrase in the interview. Yeah, I remember that too. It was a bit unfortunate, and of course, Hexologist would have batted his eyes. But yeah, I actually think one of the Origin wallet, one of the personalities in there is actually Richard Hart, who's in there. I think you know what I mean, Alex, by that. So interesting stuff. I think yeah, but you know, most people on this channel are Hex OGs as well. So you know, it's just like a bit of a shame, really. I don't see any point in it. You should be fairly agnostic to the tokens, regardless whether they try to copy you. That's just crypto land, right? Crypto land has people that copy projects all the time. So I'm not sure why that would be an issue, really. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, so basically the first stage is basically ERC20 tokens are going to be copied over. Let me go back to the auction there. Sorry about that. The ERC20 tokens are going to be copied over. So everyone will get a copy of your ERC20 tokens, obviously excluding potentially one or two people, particularly ones that copied Hex. The second thing is that so you get a copy on both, and then there'll be price discovery on the Pulsechain for those tokens and stuff like that. And then obviously there'll be some freemium as well, freemium Pulse, and you've got to really move that Pulse to make sure that you keep it, otherwise it's going to be taken off you. So that means that people that are not there, and that maybe the price gets pumped later on, and they're going to dump it, and they didn't do anything. He doesn't like those people, which is fair enough. I agree with that. They take them off them. And the second thing is that the second part of Pulse is that there's going to be a sacrifice address, and potentially it could open up in 3 or 4 days. So potentially we need a formal date from Richard, but that's going to last for 30 days. And basically people are going to put in real tokens from the Ethereum and non-Ethereum blockchain into the specific addresses for sacrifice addresses. And they're going to do that. You're going to basically give it away, and you're going to sacrifice it. You're not going to get it back. You're going to expect nothing from it, just like they did with Hex. And then you're going to get back basically Pulse token, and then there's going to be price discovery on Pulse token. That will be at the end of the 30-day period. There'll be a day 31 and 32. That all gets calibrated based on the values at the time that you put them in, type thing, and then they're always going to get proportional. There was talk about some late volume effects coming in, but I'm not sure about that part. But anyway, that's basically the way it works. And then at day 31, 32, it gets calibrated, and then there'll be basically the launch of Pulsechain, and then you'll get all the airdrops in Pulsechain for your sacrifice. But here's the big thing. So the copy over is one. All the coins that get copied over are only going to get basically 1 in 10,000 of the Pulse supply, which is next to nothing. So all the copies over, there'll be price discovery on those particular tokens. But in terms of the Pulse freemium stuff, it'll be like 1 10,000th. So that's hardly nothing. But pretty much the Pulse chain is going to come out of the sacrifice address. So you're going to throw all your valuable stuff. Now that stuff is not going to be burned, from what Richard said today. He said it's going to benefit somebody, but who knows who it benefits? Well, we kind of know who it's going to benefit, don't we? So anyway, that's the way that's going to play out. It's a masterful win-win. I do believe it's win-win, because obviously you're going to have the same early effects as Hex. You're going to have price discovery on Pulse, obviously, and price discovery on the ERC20s, which will be PRC20s, right? Pulse 20s type thing. So that's the way it's going to work, and you're going to have if every day. So there's 30 days. Every day there's going to be like I think it's about 4.25 or something % penalty every day. So everyone's going to climb in on the first days or two with all their real tokens. They're going to go to this address, who's going to basically go into the Origin wallet owner. And the Origin wallet from Hex can still participate too in this thing, so watch out. There's lots of that stuff going on, but ultimately it's going to be a win-win. The fees are obviously dramatically lower, and the congestion maximum limits are 4 times bigger than Ethereum, so it's got longer to run before it starts getting filled up and you get the price thing. So these are some of the things going on. So that's the play. And but the price discovery could be 100x on Pulse, could be 1000x. I mean, you're talking about some insane numbers. We see that with meme coins, so potentially a lot of upside there. Watch the space on that. I am very bullish about it, but of course very pragmatic about how the design's set up. So very interesting stuff there. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed. That's a bit of a wrap up from me. Obviously, we're waiting for some more final deadlines. There's no actual final deadlines yet. We had the 7-day tweet from a couple of days ago. So we'll actually wait and see when the actual launch date from the sacrifice address starts. That's pretty much it. Basically getting in the first 2 days. There are lots of different strategies. People are gamifying. Some people are wanting to do a 50-50 approach. Some people, if they're in Hex, they'll have their stake Hex copied over. So that's kind of a win-win. You just do nothing strategy. Then other people are actually going to compete in the sacrifice address. That's really the high speculative strategy. But of course, people are expecting a 100x type of thing. Imagine the price starts near zero or zero, and then it goes wide up, because you can imagine no one's not going to trade it, right? When they get the airdrops. So there'll be people clamoring over each other after they get the airdrops to try and win that after the sacrifice period's finished and the launch is over. So some people might actually wait and then buy that. They might not even enter the sacrifice address. They've pumped up the price. They've still got that Hex, that sort of example, and then they go and buy Pulse on the market. So there's lots of gamification going on, folks. So hopefully those sort of insights help you just get a better idea. Obviously not investment advice, but there's some of the insights that I've gathered today from looking at Richard Hart's Telegram posts, as well as his latest video. It's got lots of more insights in the video. I suggest go watch that if you're interested in that. But I do think that that's a pretty big opportunity. Certainly going to have play a big role in lowering fees, which we can all appreciate. 257 Quay. I do hope that Axion does get listed on there, as ETH20 does provide another ecosystem for Axion to move. They're both layer ones, remember. They're both going to have bridges as well. So they're going to have Pulse Hex, Pulse Hex, Pulse ETH, etc. So, and then ETH Pulse, of course. So they're going to have those pairs as well, and they're layer one. So pretty interesting stuff there going on. All right, so that's a pretty wrap up of our Pulse conversation. Obviously, if we get more news, I'll bring that to your heads there. But pretty interesting stuff. All right, let's go through some of the stuff here. We've got Alex. This point I made, well, not to mention that Pulse itself is taking another product and building a better version of it. Kind of ironic to gatekeep in this context. Yeah, I agree with that, Alex, 100%. I don't see, why would you just be agnostic about it? I just don't get it. Yes, he did accidentally made me cringe, because you're actually penalising the community, as I say, not the founders that you're up against, that you're upset about. Prana, I don't like it when RH says not to expect anything from the work of others. He says that because well, it's a common play, right? Because it gets past the regulatory tests with the SEC, stuff like that. But it's also, yeah, we all know. But the thing is, under Hex, the Origin wallet's actually been really supportive of Hex, so you can't complain too much about that. But this one here is certainly, if you've got everyone putting in their valuable ETH tokens into the sacrifice address, and he did say they're going to bet at somebody, but you're not to expect anything. I thought that's the first time that I recall him actually, and I've watched years of his videos, they've actually said him say something like that. I thought, oh, well, that's boy. Anyway, but we'll see. He may very well use those tokens to support the project going forward. He is wanting to support the Hex token, so if you're optimistic about that, then he may very well do that. But that's speculation again. But people spend real money, which many have worked for. Yeah, that's the whole security coin test, says Alex. Absolutely. Work for work. Expectation of work from others makes it a security. That's correct, Alex. Well said. I just can't remember the name of the test. I keep on thinking it's the Howey test, but I can't remember. Yeah, anyway, so that's some interesting stuff there. Anyway, back to Axion's auction. So that was our main topics. So we covered high gas prices. We covered AxionV3, which is a solution in the short term to solve that by Q2. And we also covered the Pulsechain, which is an important development that would potentially has benefit for Axion if it gets copied over directly. But in any case, is an opportunity to think about. Yeah, Alex says the Howey test. Yeah, that's right. Just came to me now. But anyway, so we've got 11.99 ETH in there, $47,500. We've got 16 minutes to go in VCA number 22. Our Bitcoin, we've bought 0.835 Bitcoin with that 11.99 ETH. and 85% goes to stakers, so that's 0.71 Bitcoin paid to stakers. Not too bad so far. As I say, the minimum that I like to get in the auction is 30-40%, especially given this high grade cost, very high. I think we can all appreciate that that does limit the amount of bidding into the auction, because we've got a bid coming into the auction, and then you've got to withdraw and stake it out of the auction, and the gwei is very high. So typically you would only expect probably to see large ETH bids in. And what, those had to be economic, don't they? Typically economic, even though you can extrapolate the benefit in the future if the prices go up and all that sort of stuff. But you're thinking about prices today, generally speaking. So that would be your thinking processes there. So yeah, so we're just over, what are we at, 11.99 over 40. Let's get the calculator out. That's just over 25%. So we would like to get that 30-40% mark at the minimum, would be quite cool. But obviously appreciate that today is extremely high gas prices, making that a difficult thing to achieve. So if we do achieve it, I think that's pretty amazing. Yeah, so just 30%. So we're at the very bottom of the range, what I call, an okay sort of auction day, 30-40%. And we'll see whether we can, we've still got a good 15 minutes to go, see whether we get some decent bids. You never know, somebody might come in with 20 ETH, highly possible. We'll see whether that happens. It would be a good day to get it, since a whale would be a good day for a whale, because they're going to get 12.25 million Axion per ETH plus 10% wrap Bitcoin back. So good idea for a whale, someone like that to come in. We'll see whether that happens. A shark or a whale might just do that, so they'll just wait to the end to see whether someone else does. So if you're a whale or shark and you're thinking about going in, or a dolphin, or even a shrimp that's decided to come in and enter into this, you're going to sit back and go, is someone else going to do it? Is another whale going to do it? Is another fish going to do it? So you're just waiting to see what happens towards the end. So that's entirely possible that happens as well. We have seen that on many occasions, so we'll see whether that happens today. We've got 14 minutes to go, folks. Very cool indeed. All right, so hey, welcome everybody to the chat. Let yourself be known in the chat. We always like to see new names. If you're new to Axion, let us know in the chat. We have auctions every day. It's pretty exciting, to be honest. We get all sorts of actions. Sometimes we have high gwei days, gas price days. Sometimes we have low gas days. Sometimes we have the auctions get sold out at the beginning. Sometimes they get sold out at the end. Sometimes we have auctions that get 40% sold out. Sometimes we have them get 110% sold out. It's all sorts of stuff happens with these auctions, so it's pretty exciting stuff. Let's have a quick look down the check there. Bags Full's in the house. Hey, Bags Full. Hello, Superman. Hi, Axionites. Pranam gives a big clap out to you. So always good to see Bags Full. Come on, people, hit that like button. Yeah, smash that like button. Mr. Farage is in the house as well. Hello, Mr. Farage. Always a pleasure. Hello, sir. How are you doing? But Axion is not doing well. Again, dump as usual. Yeah, unfortunately, that was the case. ETH price pulled back a little bit too, a couple $100, and a couple of our bigger accounts decided to sell down. Some of them were actually speculating. We had a whale that speculated on a meme coin. Then they sold that meme coin about an hour later or something, and then they bought Axion back again. Didn't work out well for them, unfortunately. Obviously, I always wish the best for individuals. I talk about things from a general point of view, but for an individual investor, I generally wish them well, unless, of course, they're trolling us. I don't like trolls. Trolls are the only exception I would make to that. But yeah, that's just what happens. We thought we might be able to hold that 0004 line, but we are still at 00035. So we've gone back to our resistance support line. You can see that in the long yellow line. Let's check that out. So you can see our long-term support is 00035. That's where we're at the moment, folks. That's just where we're at. We still have a pretty positive MACD, but our CCI is not looking the best at the moment at negative 2033. So we're just waiting for, maybe we'll get a bit of an upturn. We have got a regular auction starting in not too long, so let's check that out actually. Let's jump down to the regular auction. We've got 200 million starting up in 12 minutes. And that there, so 80% of the Ethereum that goes into that auction will be used to buybacks on the Uniswap. So, and that typically has been getting sold out. And I don't imagine we're beginning people entering with like 10 ETH or something like that. So even at these gas prices, we've just hit 200. They may decide to go in with like that. If we get the same behavior that we've seen in a lot of the other regular auctions, they'll be snapping up these awesome rates. 12.2. This is record level rates for Axion, so you can feel fairly bullish on that, and that would also 80% of that Ethereum goes onto Uniswap, so that would give a bit of a pump onto the price again. Obviously, we just depends on how many people are willing to sell down into that pump, we're going to start rising back up towards that 0004. So that's where we're at, folks. I mean, this is what happens in markets. They do go up and down, but yeah, we were just trying to get that price support at 0004, and we'll see how we go on that one. But so far, we're at 30% of the auction sold out at the moment. So that's where we're at the moment. We've got 11 minutes to go. All right. Yeah, Prana says Gwei at 250, absolutely very high. So that is an issue. And Mr. Frost says hello everybody. And Prana, they are probably going to have to spend over 4,000 to make the gas fees worth it to bid in the auction. Yeah, absolutely, Prana. Good observation. I like to sit to the 5% rule. I'd only go to like 10% if I thought I was really going to do some pretty spectacular stuff with my capital. But 5% rule is kind of the thing these days. But yeah, that's what we're up to. So final 10 minutes, folks. So yeah, cheers. We might as well drink to this because just about there. But you never know. We've got to get 40 ETH, and if there's a whale or a dolphin or somebody sitting out there with 20, 30 ETH, could be in there before you know it. So we did have, if we go to the activity, we have had one dolphin in there. That did put 10 ETH. That was almost $40,000. So that they went in. They do get 10% of wrapped Bitcoin back. So if you're thinking about getting in there, you do get 10% wrapped Bitcoin back. And obviously we're at record rates at the moment. So this amount in the auction, that 12.25 will be a new record for an auction. And if we don't see that again, that will be terrific value in the future if price starts to move back up, which we do expect it to do, of course. All right, so let's quickly check out some of the key stats there. We've got 535.7 billion shares at the moment. Our share rate is at 83.69. We've got 43.7 billion liquid, so some of that must have got staked yesterday because it was up at 44 something. Now this is the one we want to actually get down. Eventually we want to get that squeeze down. I'm hoping to get it at some stage below 30 billion. That would be really amazing, and then we might start to see that parabolic price rise we're looking for. We've just got to get that liquidity squeeze on. That's really important. We had 102.88 billion max share club, and we're at 7,350 stakes, so that's for 15 years. Those people staked that long. This is actually a huge asset for Axion, and it's one that the Axion Foundation with Punky and all that are pushing. We're getting IEOs, we're going to get airdrops, all stuff's going to be given to these max share stakers. So if you stake long, you get pretty much the predominant amount of benefits, and that's the way it should be, rewarding for that. Obviously you get more shares as well, and you get more wrapped Bitcoin, you get more Axion. Very cool indeed, as I always say, because I think it is cool. All right, so Alex, I am glad I caught under 90 Gwei yesterday. At least, yeah, good one, Alex. Right now it's so expensive. That poor fish with 0.69 ETH. Yeah, so hopefully they'll get that back with the price rise later, with the Axion that they win. So if the price moves up, they'll be able to recover that quite nicely. Obviously, getting decent volumes in that case. So a bit of a cost up front, but a bit of a benefit further down the track. Now they may very well max stake that as well, so we'll see what happens. I imagine they're going to max share that 0.69. Hey, welcome everybody. Subscribe, like, share, hit that bell for further notifications. Obviously, we do auctions on this channel every day. It's very cool. Now, if you want to see the weekly updates with special guests, check Axion Today's show. They had one today with T. Daly, the head developer, talking about Axion version 3. It was very insightful. And also, they're also talking about the Sleepy Sloth meme coin, which is actually doing super well as well. There's going to be an airdrop of Sleepy Sloth. It was going to be today. I'm not sure when it's actually getting airdropped. It would go to your BSC. You need to have that on your, you know how a MetaMask you can have different chains, different RPC chains. You have on BS, the smart chain, you need to put that on. Should be airdrops coming out. I don't know if he was actually able to share that today. Had some technical issues, but is looking to do an airdrop to max share stakers, I think it is. I'm not sure if it's going to all Axion stakers. I can't remember that part, but definitely another airdrop there coming for Sleepy Sloth. Sleepy Sloth's actually community is huge. They actually apparently have live streams as well. I think it's Sunday. They do live streams, pretty awesome stuff, and it's got a massive community as a meme coin, Sleepy Sloth. So free. I think it's sleepysloth.finance, something like that. Alex, if you've got that, you might as well post it in the chat as well. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm not sure knew about that, but there was an airdrop coming for that for Sleepy Sloth, and the price has gone up quite a bit actually. I was actually going to look to buy some earlier. It's actually gone up probably twice. Goes up and then it came down and it's gone back up again. But they actually look pretty good. They actually burnt. I think they've just burnt about 20% of tokens, something. They burn like a certain percentage every week for 6 weeks or something. So there's a big burn on as well. That makes them more valuable, obviously. And meme coins are all the rage at the moment. All right, the last 5 minutes, folks. We're getting into the midst. Is somebody big going to come in? We're going to get a few little bites from small fishes and stuff, or what? Let's find out. 5 minutes to go, and record stuff here. The gas price is very high, so we do take that into account today. So I wouldn't be too alarmed by the amount of ETH in there today with the gas prices so high. It's understandable that people are restrictive, but I would expect a big ETH owner to come in here, regardless of the gas fee, given the rewards that are up for grabs, 12.2 million. So we'll see. We've got 5 minutes to go. See whether one of them decides to do that. Sometimes we also get some cycling. If we go back to the actual transactions, sometimes we might get a whale or somebody sell down here, and they'll lower the price even more, and then they'll quickly jump into the auction here. That's called cycling, and sometimes we see that. We have seen it once or twice in the last week. At least it's been obvious, and we'll see whether that happens today. We've got 4 minutes to go. It'd be pretty quick though. You'd have to be pretty quick. You'd have to have that rapid gwei, and at the moment that rapid gwei is let's have a look here. 22.2M. It's actually a bit cheaper than it was, believe it or not, 230. But if you're a big fish, then that might be something you might do. So we'll watch out for that. 4 minutes to go, folks. It's getting exciting. What's going to happen? Fingers crossed. Here we go. But yeah, Prana says that fish spent $290 just to place 237 bid. Yeah, so that's the kind of, what's that, 10% rule? So that probably, at the price doubles, that will pay off for them. So it's not an unreasonable thing, Prana, but those are the trade-offs, right? Short-term trade-off for a bit of a medium-term play. Yeah, so there we are. All right, 3.5 minutes to go. Still waiting for something to come in there. And Prana says, and did lots of swaps afterwards. Oh, interesting. Nice analysis there, Prana. Good stuff. So that's what we like, to get these insights. Hey, welcome everybody to Axion Token. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Got a nice drink. Sit back, relax. We're just watching the end of VCA number 22. We have high gas prices. They happen to be coming down slightly at the moment. Look at that, we're down to 200 on fast. So still time to play there. Of course, you're probably fastest at the lowest because you've got 3 minutes left. But you probably just get in at the moment. But look, they're moving around. Very volatile. Crazy gas prices at the moment. So just take that into account with this auction today, because that's just what's happened. We've got 3 minutes to go. We're at about 30% sold out, so that's at the bottom of my sort of okay range, and we'll see whether somebody comes in the next 3 minutes and surprises us all. We have been surprised before. We do get days where we think, oh, not much is happening, and then it comes in at the end. But we also get the other days where it doesn't. So cheers, chin chin, as we say. Regardless, 0.71 Bitcoin has been paid to stakers so far today, so that's almost $40,000 US. So that's very nice. Just keep that income coming in to those stakers. Obviously, if you're max staked, you're getting the most because you've got the most shares, and that's why people max share to get as much of the rewards as they can. All right, very cool. The price is circa 2732. Yep. So there we are, last 2 minutes of counting it down, folks. People on the edge of their seats all around the world. Obviously, people who are watching this from everywhere. It's great to have such an international community. Generally is the case, but it's always great to see that these days. And it's a wonderful world of the internet to be able to communicate with people from around the world, no matter where you live, what your backgrounds are. All good there. There we are. We just got some ETH in there. Just jumped from 11.99 to 13.72. So we're up, and then we're up to 54,400. So very cool. That will update. This will update too soon with the new ETH that's in there. We've still got a minute to go. We'll see when anyone else is coming in to grab up those benefits. So very cool. Nice to see that bid come in there. So we're at 13.72 divided by 40. Which is our target, and 34.3% sold out based on these basic numbers. Very cool indeed. So we're right in the midpoint of my OK period, 30 to 40. I always say this in previous videos. That's my okay level. Obviously we want to get up like 70 upwards. We can live with 50, but we like to get up that 70, 80 potentially. But certainly with the gas prices so high, gas is actually dropping down just at the very moment. We're in the last minute, folks. Gas prices just dropped down there. You can see there, just a little bit lower. That does help a bit, because obviously some sort of, I don't know what the exponential cost curve is, but it's something like that. But yeah, there we are. So we're down to the last 30 seconds, 13.72. Is someone else going to sneak in? Sometimes we've still got, like, even after time close, we sometimes get bids coming in 2-3 minutes later. So we've got to watch that. Once the clock hits 0, we'll watch that out for that. We've had that a lot. So it's not quite over until it kind of resets and we get that final number. 7 seconds to go on the official clock there. 4 seconds, just about getting there. And we're kind of down. There we are, we're just official clock's finished, but once I say we've got another 2-3 minutes and see whether something actually comes in time. Prana, thank you, bidders. Yeah, Prana says, woohoo, yeah, pretty cool. You got to think that's a really good result given the fact that gas fees are so high at the moment. Does have an impact, and we see that today with these high prices. We're going to see whether some more ETH comes in. We've got about another 2 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes, to see whether some ETH comes in there. We'll watch. It's continuing to go on there, so pretty cool. Hope you guys are having a good time at home. I think it looks like gas is coming down just a little bit. Let's hope it keeps falling at the moment. I know that I've got some transactions I want to do, so I'm just waiting for it to come down from there. No one likes to play high gas prices. I even hear people that used to say, oh, high gas prices okay, even they're complaining now. So it doesn't care. They used to say, oh, it's for big bags. If you've got big bags, you're fine. But now they're complaining about the high gas prices. So much so they're forking the chain. So much so they're forking the ETH chain to do it. So that's funny. All right, so we're counting it down. Got a minute or two to go. And yeah, let's see whether something comes in just at the end there before it resets. So we're going to reset auction. We've got a regular auction starting up now, 200 million. That will reset for that. Now, if you use the link below, you get a 10% bonus in Axion. There we are. We've just reset, so it's already started. So that was our final mark. Let's go back to the official one. So yeah, that's where we ended up. About 35% sold out. Not too bad in the okay regular, but quite good when you consider the gas is high. I think that's a pretty good day. So very cool. Now let's go back to the new auctions, the rig auction, 200 million, $70,000, 16 ETH is the target. So that's going to run over the next 24 hours. You will get the 10% discount. Look at that price, 12.2 million. If it stays at that, you'll be able to get that. We're probably going to expect, we've typically have regular auctions get sold out pretty quickly. If you want to get 10% bonus, use the link below, and you can get into this and get in there early. First in, first served, pretty much. So we'll watch out and see the first first 15 minutes, and we'll see if something comes in. Yeah, we're going pretty good on that one. So bags full. You rang. Not sure what that is. Bags full. You might want to explain that one. You rang, but there we are. Let's have a look. So we've got a record amount here. I'm going to refresh this page and we'll get the updated amounts coming up here. Oh, we've already got 6 in there already. Oh, that updated slow. So we've already got 6 ETH, folks, in there already straight off the bat into the regular auction. That's 53 million I've already bought back. We've got those purchases on here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 bids, and we've had all those go on to market. It's lifted the price up a little bit to that amount, so we're actually moving on. It's funny, this one was slow to upgrade, but the actual official staking platform is actually updating quicker. So we've got 6 ETH in there already. Sweet, that's 4 bids too. Very nice. And we can see that already purchased on the market. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in a row. 4.8, 0.7, 0.65 and 4.4. So it looks like we've actually even got more than 6. It looks like it's not showing up yet, but that will show up soon. So really big there. Dolphin 5.5, 0.9, 0.8 and 6 ETH there. So 4 quick bids in there. We'll watch out there. I think that's the way it's playing on that one, so we'll watch for that. I'll just refresh again. Man, it's all exciting. I told you these regular auctions just get sold out. Boom, like that, pre-planned. So pretty neat there. Yeehaw! So he says, yeah. So we're in with that. We'll watch actually out. I think that was on the play there. This one is not updated yet. Let me refresh this page. Sometimes maybe this is not refreshing fast enough. We'll just check on the Axion Today dashboard. I'm just flipping between the two dashboards. on there. Yeah, 13.2 ETH. So I just need to refresh the API. Shame that didn't auto done, but 13.22, folks. Woohoo! Then we got 16 to sell out, so we're well on the way there. So that's pretty cool. So an okay VCA22, but another stellar regular auction. And look at, they all came in, bang, bang, bang. There's still a bit of room there if you want to get a 10% bonus. Get in first. Obviously, first in, first served is basically how it works. So 0.22 divided by 15.92. Man, it's all exciting. So that's 83% sold out like that. So what are the contrasts to the previous auction to this one? So people were definitely after the Axion, and obviously a shorter staking period. Staking period for VCA's 120 days, auction 60 days, regular auction 60 days. But people were also after the Axion, and that's interesting as well. 10% bonus Axion, plus if they sell for further, they can get up to 20%. So lots of gamification going there. There is the soft cap at 90%, which tries to guarantee you that 10% discount between the auction price and the market price. That's often maintained, not always, because people can get stuck in the Ethereum pipeline, and they can all come in at once and the system doesn't register it like that. That will be updated. That is part of the improvement that's going to happen, but it's not quite yet. TDLE said that today, so watch out for that. But we are at 83% sold out already within minutes. Pretty much within 5 minutes, if not a couple of minutes of the regular auction, we're pretty much sold out. It's pretty exciting. Oh, that's so cool. I love these Axion auctions. They really are fun. Pretty cool. Eddie Go, 15.12 ETH for the VCA. Very interesting that people are going for regular auctions again and again, says Prana. Regular auctions sell out fast. They do indeed. Interesting stuff there. See, the ETH is out there, folks. The ETH is out there to sell out the VCAs, but they obviously they're going. There's the longest staking period, and there's the people after the Axion as well with the rate. So because you're going to get 10 to 20% bonus with the referral on top of this 12.1 million if it potentially closes at that rate. And obviously that ETH was used to go on market buybacks. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like we got that. Those are all in there. So that's 80%. Remember, it's 80% of the ETH that goes in is spent on here. So that's why we've got 4 plus 4.4 plus these two smaller ones plus 4.8, and that's how it works. So 80% of the ETH there. So let's see if that's updated to 3.22. Nice. That's very exciting. I'll just refresh it one more time just to make sure I've captured all that. Yeah, so 18.22. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to refresh this page, it seems. So 18.22 is sold out. So it's oversold. The regular auction has oversold, folks. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. End of live stream. So that's pretty fun. Well, there we are, folks. So we had an okay day in the VCA 22. We had a tremendous day, which is all over Rover. It's all over Rover for regular auction day 179 is already done in 5 minutes. Sold out. Sold out, thanks. Oh, well, let's say 7 minutes. Sold out in 7 minutes. All done and dusted. How hilarious that is. So pretty much. Prana says more data for Punky. Absolutely. And Alex gives extra 10% for regular versus wrap Bitcoin. Amazing what a difference it makes. It does indeed. The market is responding to that time and time again. So the data is there. Like I say, I always think you need 2 weeks data. Some people say something after a day or two. That's a bit too early. You'd probably need about 2 weeks to start saying stuff, and I think we've probably got enough data for that now. So it's interesting to see. Punky has got back. He's probably in bed sleeping, but once he wakes up, he'll probably see that too. These people don't get it. They can get a bad deal if price goes up. That's true, Alex, and that is the case. And because it's got a soft cap, it's not a hard cap, and there's limits to what they can actually stop with the Ethereum going back in, going through the chain. Some people can come in all at the same time, and that's the way you get it. It looks like a little rabbit or dog when I'm doing that, but yeah, that's the way it works. So how hilarious. Oversold regular auction. Some crazy stuff, folks, in crypto land. And there we are. But and look at the price there. Price has gone up. Axion's gone up to 0.0061. So that's nice to see a little bump there. Obviously, that'll be the end of the auction price pushing. So really, the market needs to take over from here if we're going to see it move upwards. So watch that. Let's have a look at the other thing. The other side is that the rate is just under 11 million per Axion at the moment. Uniswap rate, they're pretty much on par. You can see the auction price is just a tad cheaper at the moment, but we'll see how that goes over the next 24 hours, which is pretty much the rest of it. So that brings us to the next section. We after this auction, which is already sold out, we will be coming up to auction day 180. 180, folks, the 12th of May. We will have 500 million Axion up for grabs in a regular auction. It's going to be $180,000 worth at the moment. That's a day 180, folks. 6 months. That's a real maturity turning point for Axion, and exciting stuff. I'll try and think if I can do something a bit more exciting for that day, because that's pretty awesome stuff there. And maybe I can get a special guest on for that one. Very cool indeed. And yeah, 180 days coming up in 24 hours, less than 24 hours, and it's a big turning point for Axion indeed. But pretty cool moment to finish on. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Very cool indeed. Some interesting behaviors going on, and I'm sure we can talk about that. How are we going? 69 minutes on the live stream. Done pretty well today. Let's have a look here. Food TV, lol, sold out, funny. And Food TV, they don't want to touch the VCA. Yeah, not as interesting. It's quite interesting that I actually think that I think Alex agrees with me. We're both into the VCAs, and we'd probably go for the wrap Bitcoin if we had a choice. So interesting stuff there. But intro. Hey, Food TV, I did see you on I think you were on Richard Hart's live stream earlier today. I always see your comments whenever they come up on different channels that I'm visiting. I always see Food TV in there. You're all over the place, Food TV. Well done to you, by the way. I love your comments and activity in there. It's pretty cool. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed the topics as well, covering those topics and trying to bring you as much valuable information as possible. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks, Alex, once again for moderating, and thanks for everybody's comments. For those who are in the Northern Hemisphere and it's late at night or early in the morning there, have a good sleep, and we'll catch you on the next one. But obviously we'll do a day 180 is coming up in less than 24 hours, and I'll try and do something special for that as well. So we'll see you then. All right. Hey, Bags Full, nice job. Nice. Thanks very much. And Food TV, I have a lot of Hex too. Yeah, well done, Food TV. And Richard Hart Prana. Richard Hart can't bad food. Yeah, food's part of the climate, part of the environment. So it's pretty much. All right. We'll see you guys. Cheers. I'm gonna go grab some dinner.